It's Tuesday, which can only mean one thing. It's Tuesday Tea Break Talks with me, Nick Truman, host here of the Winning with Shopify podcast. If you haven't tuned in before, it's an absolute pleasure. Thanks for clicking on the pinkest icon you can. I've got this funky little pink t-shirt here. It's not irons. Sorry if anyone's watching this. But we've got funky little t-shirts. I don't wear this that much. I should really wear this, given that it's on brand. But anyway, welcome to Tuesday. Tuesday's a short episode. We don't have a guest or anything. I share some of the updates from our agency, from our partners, some of the news going on in the Shopify world, a couple of fun facts, and if you're on a tea break like me when I'm recording this, not really, this is work as far as I'm concerned, but if you're having a quick break or whatever you're doing right now, you could be at the gym. Some people listen to me while they're breastfeeding their children, some in the bath. Someone else even said they only listen to it when they're practicing for boxing. I don't know what that says about me, but these are all true stories and quite fascinating. So if you want to reach out and tell me where you listen to this podcast, hello@winningwithshopify.com. Send us an email. Why not? Anyway, today's quite quick. Tea of choice. I'm reading my notes that's the only way to get this information. I have a cup of tea here with Spec, my agency, written on the side of the teacup. I'm drinking peppermint tea this week. And the properties for peppermint tea to help you in your life as an e-commerce e-commerce brand owner or working in the e-commerce space. It's good for improved digestion. So if you have a big, heavy work lunch, relief from nausea, and reduced stress, which I think we can all relate to and all want a bit of reduced stress. And this one's hilarious because this won't make any difference, but this will put a nice little shiver down some of your spines. When you think about me talking for the next sort of 15, 20 minutes, fresher breath. How exciting. Anyway, before we get into today's bits and pieces and stuff and things, we're going to talk about quote of the week. I love this quote. It's from Jeff Bezos at Amazon. We quote Amazon quite a bit. Well, certainly Jeff and a few bits from Amazon team, but I love this one. This one is: the best customer service is if the customer doesn't need to call you, doesn't need to talk to you. It just works. And I love that because actually I work in SEO a lot. And when we're working in SEO, if we look at what people are reaching out to customer service to ask, and we basically answer those questions with content on the website at the right point of the journey, customer service costs start to come down, which is nice. You can reallocate these people for revenue generation, sending emails out to people, maybe phoning customers, that kind of thing. And actually then the SEO is better because Google and all the other search engines, and we're going to talk not just about Google today, we're going to talk about another part of SEO with a new acronym, all very exciting. So it didn't have enough acronyms in our world already. But then you find actually Google and other search engines want to index you more because you're answering those questions, right? Shopify news, the first one I've put in capital letters here, underlined and in bold with an exclamation mark. Finally, we can whitelist crawler tools on a Shopify store. Oh my gosh, I remember which office, which desk I was sitting at when I logged in one day and tried to crawl a Shopify store. And my team were like, Nick, we can't crawl Shopify. And I was like, what? And basically, if you tried to bring up too many pages too quickly on Shopify, it would block you from the entire store for, I think it was about 4 hours. It's quite a long time. Now you can whitelist those things. So you can say in a little setting in Shopify and tell Shopify, if this crawler, so it might be one of your own tools to scrape content, write metadata, your SEO tools, all that sort of stuff, you can tell it, it's fine. Let this one into the site. Let this load the code because it's my tool and I need to get some stuff back from this. So that is really exciting. And the bane of our lives trying to get that kind of thing working. The second one is you can now use, I'll be honest, I don't know what these are. This is for the physical world, or as a friend of mine says, IRL, in real life. You can use HID barcode scanners with Shopify POS. I don't know what that means, but someone mentioned it the other day and said they couldn't do it. So I had a look, and it was literally released about 4 days ago in the Shopify changelog. Probably 5 days by the time you guys are watching this. I record on Monday afternoon. Voice mode in Sidekick, which Sidekick is Shopify's AI that's built in. So you can talk to Sidekick, ask it to do stuff, ask it to analyze stuff, ask it how to do things and what it can help with. You can even ask it for image generation, which is pretty cool. But now you can talk to it. And I had someone the other day saying like, who are you talking to? You're a bit blunt and rude there, Nick. Normally you're really polite. I said, I was talking to an AI bot. So I was being blunt because I didn't want it to pick up on any random words. I just wanted to get my question across, get the answer and tell it was wrong until it was no longer wrong, and that's what I needed from it. So you can talk to that. Another thing on Sidekick as well, it's quite an AI focused episode this week. Sidekick can also be now put in full screen mode. It was in a tiny little chat window at the bottom, which was quite difficult when you're writing quite a lot of text or you were asking it to write content. You had to sort of scroll around quite a bit and get it to see what's going on. So that was a bit frustrating, but you can use it in full screen mode now. Shopify have changed so much in the last week. So since I made the last episode and before recording this one, there's a whole article about shipping information that Shopify's changed and shipping systems and a whole range of other things. There's too much. I thought I could have done a whole episode on this, which we might do at some point, but shopify.com/news/ship-with-Shopify. So if you just search ship with Shopify and check out the news page that comes up on your favorite AI or SEO related search engine, that will come up. But there's loads of updates in there for a whole range of things, from the couriers available to how shipping works and a load of other stuff. So if you're shipping, I'd say, to more than one territory or using more than one courier or delivery partner, definitely go and give that even just a glance over. There's quite a bit changing, and there's going to be some good opportunities in there for you guys to make your lives easier, potentially cheaper, and potentially for customers as well, make them better and faster. Sweet. Last one on Shopify, and then we got some non-Shopify news. Shopify's CEO, Toby Luke, is prioritizing AI over people, he said. I'm not going to comment on this, but I'd love to hear your thoughts. So send us an email, hello@winningwithshopify.com, how you feel about that. He's prioritizing AI over people when it comes to Shopify's hiring policy now. Not so much you guys, but Shopify's hiring policy. They're looking at doing things with AI rather than hiring humans. It's interesting. I think everyone's always scared about everyone losing their jobs as technology gets better. But if you look at it economically, to go on a slight tangent for a minute, and if we use sound effects in this, there'd be some dramatic music right now. And we tend to find that every time people are scared they're all going to lose their jobs, suddenly even more jobs are created through the new technology, new industries, new systems, new pieces of equipment. Like, I won't go into detail. I was about to go on a massive tangent then. We won't for today's purposes. But if you want to hear what the tangent was, just send me an email and I'm happy to do some what I call verbal diarrhea via the keyboard and tell you what I think. So other news outside of Shopify, Alibaba, all over the place at the moment, is being cited as having record growth. AI has been the driving force of that. Share prices going up and all sorts of other things as well. But Alibaba are reporting that things are growing really, really nicely. And final bit of news, multiple outlets are predicting a drop in e-commerce revenue this holiday season. So coming into Black Friday and coming into Christmas, they are predicting a drop in e-commerce revenues. People predict this every year. There seems to be more noise about it this year than ever. They're talking about things like the tariffs. Generally, globally, there's a cost of living crisis in most countries. Things get more expensive. Inflation's at an all-time high. Wages aren't keeping up with inflation. And there's a whole range of things going on. And so the prediction feels kind of relevant this year, but it's always been wrong. E-commerce revenue has always gone up collectively. Shopify has always reported record revenues, and so is the retail space when you look at it, certainly in a half-year basis across pretty much any of the kind of major world's economies. So there we go. Quick sip of tea, and then we'll talk about one of our partners, which is quite exciting. You know, when tea is just drinkable, and you just think to yourself, that is delicious. Have another sip. And some people are now thinking, I'm just listening to Nick drinking tea. We move on. Yotpo are hanging up their boots on email and SMS. You might have heard about this if you're using Yotpo. Quite a few of our clients have said, like, yeah, I got the email. It's terrifying. What am I going to do? We work with Seguno. Seguno are one of our sponsors and partners. We love Seguno to bits. If you want to talk to Seguno, we've got a chap called Chris in the UK. We've also got Brian and a whole team of other people in North Carolina and the US. Do talk to Seguno. Seguno is completely plugged into Shopify, so you don't need to do any integration. You can but install the app from Seguno. I think it's a 3-month trial. Apologies for not getting that right, guys. I love you all. But on Seguno, because it's plugged into Shopify, you can just create segmentations within your customer area and start emailing them. Plus, you can use those segmentations in lots of other ways within Shopify when it comes to discount codes and a whole range of other things. So it's definitely a good option, and we're finding so many people, probably because we endorse them so much and we love them here, so many of our clients are moving to Seguno. I don't know anyone that's been moving away apart from one, and it purely came down to technical issue because they have more than one business. The other business wasn't on Shopify, so couldn't use Seguno for it. But Seguno's built in, so definitely check out Seguno if you want. We've got loads of offers and other stuff, so check out our website, www.podcast.com, and check out the link through Seguno. You definitely get a free onboarding analysis session with them. So I'll sit down and show you what's going on. I've introduced Brian and Chris here in the UK so many times to so many of our brands that we work with, and people from the podcast reach out as well. So definitely check out Seguno as a good, viable option. I got 6 learnings from the agency. One I'm going to go into quite a bit of detail on, and the other 5 we're just going to sort of skim through and let you know what's going on. Brand clicks. That is where somebody types in your name into Google and they find your ads. And what you don't want to do is spend too much money on that. You want to spend most of your money on people searching for non-brand keywords. Because once someone knows who you are, you want to get them in through the door and spending money on your site as fast as possible. If they do know who you are, you do not want to spend too much money on that. This year, so 2025, we've averaged a 75% saving on new clients we've taken on and started managing their Google ads campaigns. But the 75% saving, that's how much we've saved on click costs on brand alone, which means we're driving a majority of spend through non-brand, which again is where you're going to acquire customers. They're searching for your brand. They might not have transacted yet, but they're certainly a customer because they know who you are. And again, definitions, but you can save up to 75% of those clicks. So I definitely would. We are doing more Performance Max tests. These have been really popular. People in the community have been asking about these. And we did a meetup when was it? Thursday last week with Molly, who are a great option as well for your checkout to save you loads of money on transaction fees. Molly, and we did this meetup, and loads of people came up and said, Nick, I love your Tuesday talks. I love what you're saying about PMax tests, Performance Max in Google. And also Performance Max is also in other channels as well, sometimes with a different name. But you guys have been emailing us and spoke to several people at the meetup about Performance Max tests. Here's an interesting one. We are getting multiple clients in the last sort of 4 or 5 months where standard shopping is outperforming Performance Max, which leads me on to point number 3, which is connected to that. So standard shopping outperforming Performance Max, where standard shopping is just shopping ads on Google and nowhere else. Does nothing else. PMax does every channel across the whole Google spectrum. If you are connected to an agency like us, you will get access to, it's called channel performance or channel breakdown, and it's currently in beta. But what it does with Performance Max, which has been a massive move for Google when people who are nerdy like me and my team managing campaigns come along, you can now see on Performance Max how many clicks, how many sales, how much money you are spending across each of the different channels. It even splits google.com itself, or whatever country you're in, google.de, google.fr. It splits that now, so you can see ads with products featured in them and ads without products featured in them, which is an enormous game changer where it comes to focusing your time. So if you find that actually ads without products on Google are outperforming ads with products on Google, something's wrong with your shopping feed, something's wrong with your landing pages where people land on products, you need to fix that. You want your shopping ads to outperform all other channels because that's what they should do. So what it probably means is all your channels are doing really well apart from the products one. So you want your products on Google Shopping to work really, really well. So again, if you want to get access to that, whether you become a client or not, you can connect up to us if you want, and you'll get that feature because we can get it turned on for you. Number 4, I mentioned there's a new acronym, because there aren't enough acronyms in this industry. With some clients we start working with, they're like CPC, PPC, what's all of this? SEO, and all these different acronyms. There's so many we start to break it down to like CAC, CAC, which anyone should know who runs a business. It's not just an e-commerce one. There's a new acronym, GEO, which is Generative Engine Optimization, and it's basically doing SEO, but it's doing it for AI. Quite exciting. And we've been talking about that quite a lot on here. If you don't already, go and check out the Yoast app in Shopify as well. Excuse me, I haven't drunk enough tea today, so I'm coughing too much. But check out Yoast because that can help you with ranking on AI engines like ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, etc., etc., etc. Quick sip of tea. It's all very well having a tea break talks. If I don't drink any tea, what was the point? Apart from sharing some amazing information with you guys. And none of this is mine. It's my team doing stuff and news. Number 5, we are doing an exercise for multiple brands at the moment on SEO where Google's basically said, if you've got loads of pages on your site and no one's looking at them, no one's transacting through them, and you're asking me, Google, and tend to be, if you do it for Google, it works on most search engines. That's not exclusive, but there are certain nuances. We find actually we're trying to start removing collections where people have thousands of collections and you look at them and say, if you've got 1,000 collections, only 50 of them actually get used, and replacing lots of those collections now with just filters of another collection, because depending on how you set your site up, Google is probably not going to index a lot of those filters, but they will index the proper collections. So if you only had 50 or 100 instead of 1,000, and they were all getting used and people buying lots of products through them, you'll probably find those 50 to 100 will rank better than before because Google's not trying to crawl all this different stuff around your site. So it's basically about focusing search engines and customers to a slightly smaller site. It's a bit more organized and a bit easier to find stuff rather than just loads of stuff all over the place that basically gets ignored. Quick sip of tea. Although we're talking about collections for that, sorry, I have got a really bad cough at the moment. Although we're talking about collections, that can also apply to products as well. So if you've got, 20% of your products actually get viewed on the site and bought, and the other 80% don't really get viewed very often at all and definitely don't get bought, maybe you want to look at your product range and start shrinking it down a little bit. There might be what I call a merchandising reason why you've got so many products, but certainly for drop shippers, We find a lot of dropshippers have got thousands upon thousands, sometimes even over 1 million products on the site. No one's looking at any of them, which is going to cause you issues on SEO. Right, number 6. Another sip of tea, counter coughing tea. I'm going to feel much better after this. This mint tea is delicious. SEO is the final point. How many found but not indexed pages are you sitting on? Is the announcement here. And what this means is, if you connect up Google Search Console, it's completely free. And even if you've never connected it up or set it up or verified it before, you will get up to 16 months previous data from Google, which is quite cool. And it's Google's way of feeding back everything that's going on in the SEO world. And if you go in there, you can look under what's called pages on the left-hand side, click that, and you can see how many pages Google has crawled but not indexed. And this tells us a few things. One is the quality of content across your site. If there's more, like if you're talking like 20 times as many pages or 50 times as many pages in there that Google has crawled and decided I'm not indexing your content, then it's probably not good content. It's not relevant content. It's not optimized content, or there's just too much of it in total. A bit like I was saying with the killing collections, killing products in the previous point. The other thing that's quite interesting in that report is that we've seen some sites where only the homepage has actually been indexed and the rest of the site hasn't. And that is a quality issue. We've only ever seen that where people have used AI to write the content. They've used Google Translate to do translations or something similar to those two things or along those lines. You want your content to be unique. So it's quite silly to use Gemini to do AI written content and Google Translate to use translations, because then when it comes to ranking on Google's going to go, hang on a minute, I did all the hard work here. This is just copy and paste content. It needs to be written properly for those locations and territories. Those are the updates from the agency. Quivia this week. I've got a bit of fun for us all. I want you to write down, or try and remember if you can, 5 things. And the 5 things are, and this is based on largest market cap in the total stock markets. So the largest market cap companies, and I want you to write down what you think the top 5 of these are. I got 4 of them, which was better than most of the team. Most people only got 2 or 3, which was quite interesting. And I asked my mum this question as well, and I know she doesn't listen to this, but sorry, mum, if ever you do come across this. Mum only managed to get 1 of them. And it's only because she uses it. Anyway, top 5. Write this down quickly. I'm going to have a sip of tea. Top 5 based on market cap. Top 5 size companies in the world based on market cap. I'm going to start at number 5. Just give you a second to write it down. I don't know how long it takes to write 5 things. I don't tend to write things. I tend to write them on a laptop, which is a lot faster. My handwriting is terrible. Anyway, enough small talk. Let's get into the top 5. So at number 5, we talk about this quite a lot. It's Amazon. So Amazon it's got the 5th biggest market cap globally. In at number 4 is Alphabet, which is Google. So Google, we'll call it Google for all intents and purposes. So Google's there at number 4. Number 3, I'm using one of these devices now. It is Apple. I'm using an Apple Mac at number 3. Number 2 is Microsoft. So I'm not using Microsoft, but I could have given that away as a clue. But yeah, Microsoft at number 2. Now this one, if anyone gets this, honesty only, please, send me an email if you got this and we'll send you a free cup until they run out. A Winning with Shopify cup. I got a spec one today, but yeah, we'll send out some of the winning with Shopify free cups. So it's been quite a long Monday so far. The top one is Nvidia. And I mean, I've been reading about these guys for a while. It's insane how big they are and how quickly they've grown. But Nvidia up at number 1. They are the biggest companies by largest companies by market cap in the entire world. I hope you've enjoyed today. We'll be back again next Tuesday with some more updates, some more news. And if you want to hear about anything in these as well, let us know. I know I talked to quite a few guys anyway, but Tuesday Tea Break Talks, we can talk about whatever you want. But these are things we settled on, and we're being told by you guys it's quite useful, and everybody has a little list of actions after these. So that's really, really useful. Let us know what you think. Please do tune in next week. And on Friday, we'll have another very special guest joining us. Although we might not. There is a solo episode we've done on SEO here as well. So yeah, that'll be coming out at some point. But got some amazing guests and some really big brands and a couple of big tech companies coming on at the moment as well. So very exciting. Loads to engage with. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. And check out our website, wwspodcast.com. And go and subscribe to our newsletter because we're sending out some pretty cool stuff through that as well. I've been Nick. You've been great. I'll see you on Friday.